Tommy, for this faith-based topic, we're going to talk about Jesus' temptations.
Okay.
What does temptation mean to you?
Temptation, I feel like temptation is a test on your discipline and how well you can control yourself.
What is one word that describes temptation?
I feel like failure. Failure would be a good word.
Are you familiar with the three temptations that Jesus faced?
Yes, I'm aware. Like in the desert, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I am aware.
Describe the first temptation.
The first temptation is food. The first temptation is food. Like when he was in the desert, he was really hungry, and the devil tempted him with food.
Do you remember what he quoted?
It was bread. I know it was bread, but I don't know the exact quote.
So what would you say Jesus defeated or overcame through the first temptation?
He defeated it by fasting, but I remember he said a scripture, but I don't remember what scripture it was.
So the first temptation involved Jesus overcoming the lust of the flesh. Describe a personal experience involving the lust of the flesh that you've dealt with.
It'd probably be with food too. It'd probably be pizza, because like I've had a New Year's resolution where I don't eat pizza, and like just the smell of pizza just smells so good, and I know it tastes so good.
Is that your favorite food?
Yeah, I'd probably say it is my favorite food.
You know how like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like they love pizza?
Yeah.
What was the second temptation that Jesus had to overcome?
He was took onto a tower, and he was told to jump off, and the angels would catch him, and he would not fall and hurt himself. But then Jesus said no, because he was not going to test the Lord.
So with that being said, what did Jesus overcome through the second temptation?
I'm not sure.
So the second temptation was Jesus overcoming the lust of the eyes. Describe a personal experience involving lust of the eyes.
Lust of probably like looking at a woman. Like if you see a fine woman, and like if you know you're in a relationship, you know not to go for that woman, but like still looking at that woman, you know, that's the lust of the eyes.
Describe Jesus' third temptation.
His third temptation was the devil took him, I forgot where, but the devil took him to somewhere and told him that if he bows down to the devil, he could have everything. It was like the tallest tower or tallest mountain, or like the highest point of the earth. And the devil told him if he bow down to the devil, then he can get everything. And that'd probably be like the lust of greed or something like that, right?
Yes, sir. Or the pride of life.
The pride of life.
Yes, okay. But basically the same thing. Describe a personal experience involving you being egotistic or prideful.
It'd probably be during like a sports game or something like that. Like during competitiveness, you just think so highly of yourself, and you think of yourself before others.
Is Jesus overcoming all three temptations a glimpse on how to overcome temptations that we all face through in life?
I believe so, yeah. I believe that's like a perfect example of how we should treat things and how we should overcome temptations that are brought to us.
So you feel like Jesus was giving us the blueprint?
I believe so, yes.
Oh, okay. Do you think this is how Satan keeps mankind bound in a cycle of sin through those three temptations? Lust of the eyes, lust of the flesh, and the pride of life.
I believe so, yeah. I believe if we acknowledge those temptations and we don't fall to those temptations, we'll have a much greater difficulty getting to us than if we were to succumb to those.
Satan doesn't change his tactics. The way Adam and Eve were tempted is similar to how Jesus was tempted. Describe similarities between how Satan tempted Jesus and how Satan tempted the first humans.
One key thing I noticed is that when the devil tempted Jesus, when he was trying to make Jesus jump off the tower, the devil reassured Jesus that he will not fall and hurt himself, the same way as the devil tempted Adam and Eve, whereas if they bit the fruit, then they will surely not die. I feel like that's a similarity where he brings the temptation onto us, where we think of us in the future and like us thinking ahead, where the devil wants us to have, you know, feel confident in partaking in the sin.
What are some differences?
I think the main difference is that Jesus did not go through with the sin compared to Adam and Eve, where they did go through with the sin.
Adam and Eve gave into the temptations. Jesus did not. Is this a sign that we humans will forever fall short of the glory of God?
I believe so, yes. I believe that we are all sinners, yes, and we do need God's salvation, and we are given it through Jesus Christ and only through him. So yeah.
Why do you believe that Jesus chose to fast for 40 days and 40 nights before being tempted? Do you feel like he did so knowing that he was going to get tempted?
I believe so, yes. I believe because that also adds more weight onto his decisions and what he's doing.
Mm.
Um, Further to prove a point.
How long do you think you can fast for?
Uh, Probably not that long.
Mm.
Probably like 3 days without food.
Do you think you could last for 40 days and 40 nights?
Through the power of God, that helps me, but like by myself, probably not. It'd probably require like a lot of meditation.
Is there a story you heard of someone you know fasting for an extended period of time that even had you shocked?
No, I don't know anyone that I know that's tried anything close to that.
Mm. What is a lesson or lessons that you learned from Jesus overcoming all three temptations?
Um, the lesson I've learned is discipline. Discipline's a key thing that I've seen in that, and I really admire Jesus' discipline in that situation. And that's one thing that I want to grow myself to is the discipline. And I've been trying to build my discipline through my New Year's resolution where I don't drink soda, don't eat fast food, and stuff like that.
I guess a lesson that I learned through Jesus' three temptations would be that Jesus won in the desert
Mm-hmm.
and Adam and Eve lost in the garden.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the place, it's the decision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he won in the desert, they lost in paradise. So it ultimately comes to the mindset, the
Mm-hmm.
mindset that would lead to what decision you're gonna end up making.
Wow.
Jesus killed his flesh through the fasting,
Mm-hmm.
while Adam and Eve they had the abundance of the animals and the fruits
Mm-hmm.
and just everything. They had the lushness of life,
Mm-hmm.
and they gave into. And Jesus was out there in the barren desert,
Mm-hmm.
killing his flesh, but he won. So I guess that would be some, not only some similarities and differences, but just the overall theme that I learned.
Okay, wow. I didn't look at it like that, but yeah, that's a pretty good way to look at it.
Yeah, because they didn't kill their flesh because God gave them everything. So there's no need to fast.
Yeah.
But due to not needing to fast, they gave into sin. Jesus, him knowing he's God in the flesh,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean he wasn't gonna be tempted. So I guess him fasting was on purpose. I don't even think he wanted to fast that long, but he knew that he was gonna be tempted. So he's like, if I kill my flesh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be certain that I'm gonna say no when he does come.
Mm-hmm.
So Jesus knew that the devil was gonna tempt him. So he just wanted to make sure he just had that armor. The Bible tells us to run from or to flee from temptation. So
Mm-hmm.
why do you feel like Jesus took on the temptations?
I think running from temptation, I feel like that would be the human response to it.
Mhm.
But through having scripture and having God with you, I feel like you can face temptation head on. I feel like that's one thing that Jesus showed us.
And that's true because not only did he said no and then backed it up with scripture.
Exactly, yeah.
Compared to Adam and Eve that didn't back it up with scripture, so they were just it was easy for them to just give into it.
Exactly, yeah.
Any other things you would like to say? Any concluding statements on the topic of Jesus' three temptations?
No, I think it's a really good story, a really good read if you have time to read it. But yeah, it's a good life story too. You can bring it with you, everywhere you go. To build good discipline, I feel like is a key priority if you're a Christian. You should have good discipline and good faith along with the discipline.
I agree. I feel like it's a story, and it was quick. It was a quick story. It
Yeah.
wasn't even. It didn't extend too long,
Mm-hmm.
but there's many messages and things that you can learn off that quick and swift story. Tommy, thank you for this faith-based topic.
Of course, glad to be here.